name is Beth Williams. I'm a yoga teacher and I'm a personal trainer. And today's class that I'm teaching is a chair yoga class. So this class is designed for those of you that have difficulty getting up and down from the floor. You may have knee replacements or had knee surgery. You may have had hip replacements or hip surgery. And some of us may not have had surgery, but it's just difficult to get up and down from the floor because you haven't done it in so long and no fault of your own. And so you lose strength and you lose mobility. And so to get you back to moving again, I think is so important. So bringing the practice to you in a way that you can still move and you can still join into a yoga practice. I really believe that yoga is for everybody. You just have to find the right practice and the right teacher for you. So welcome. So I have a simple folded chair here. As you can see, it's padded. If you don't have a folding chair, you can grab a dining room chair. You want something that's going to be sturdy for you. I also have a yoga block, and you don't need a block, but if you have one, grab it. You can certainly use a folded up towel in place of the block for what we're going to be using it for today. And then I also have a yoga strap or yoga belt, and it's just a canvas belt. And so if you have any sort of a belt that's like this, or one of those old ties that's hanging in the closet, or a bathrobe strap, that will do as well. And so we're going to start today in what's called chair mountain pose. So traditionally in yoga mountain pose, it's also called Tadasana, which is Sanskrit for mountain. It's a standing anatomical neutral position. So it's one of the postures that we come back to again and again to find an anatomical neutral position. So in chair mountain pose, you're seated and your feet are going to be about hip distance apart and more or less parallel to each other so that your toes are all pointing forward, and your knees are going to be more or less above the ankles or the heels. Now, in addition to the placement of your feet and your legs, you want to make sure that you're sitting more into the center of your sit bones. And try not to lean back into the chair unless I otherwise tell you so. So sitting up tall here with a neutral curve in your low back. So it's an inward curve in the low back rather than rounding the spine. Okay? So now as you find that upright and tall position, you can rest your hands onto your thighs. And just notice if you're shrugging your shoulders up towards your ears. If you're feeling some tension around the neck and the shoulders there, that's an indication that you're shrugging. So just start to relax the shoulders. You're not forcing the shoulders down. You're just allowing them to be in an easy resting position. And then also find that your ears are above the shoulders or head above the heart here rather than the head protracting forward. Okay. Also try not to press your head too far back because that can cause some strain through the throat and the back of the neck. Okay, so here we are in chair mountain pose, and I'd like to begin with a breathing exercise to help you to center yourself. And if you don't know what that means, I'll do my best to describe what being centered means or what it feels like. So I'll invite you now to close your eyes. And as you close your eyes, just begin to notice your breath. Notice that you're breathing in through the nostrils, noticing how the breath feels as it enters the nostrils and fills up the lungs. And breathing out of the nostrils, notice how the air feels as it exits the lungs, the throat, and the nose. So as you begin to notice that you're breathing, as you begin to notice how your breath feels as you inhale and exhale, you might also notice that the breath is becoming a little bit longer, less shallow. So the breath is the gateway to the present moment. The breath is what keeps us connected to the here and the now. And when we notice that we're breathing, when we notice how the breath feels, our mind can slow down. And as the mind slows down and it's not trying to think about thoughts, you may notice that you can also really feel your body and really get to know what it feels like to be in your body, to be in your breath, and to be in the present moment. And when you get to be this quiet and you get to notice all of these physiological processes of the breath and how it moves and how your body feels, that's how you can really start to feel centered. So there's a sense of feeling like there's equanimity or balance. And now joining your hands together, bringing the thumbs to the heart center. Let's take a deep breath in here through the nose. Feel a sense of lifting and lengthening tall through the crown of the head. And then on your exhalation, give yourself a nod of your chin in towards your heart. Keep breathing here. And just as you nod in towards the heart, allow yourself to feel a recognition of yourself, of your metaphorical heart space, that place where joy and compassion and loving kindness resides, bowing and recognizing the real you that's underneath all of the layers of thoughts and doubts and fears. And then release your hands down to your lap, lifting your chin out of your chest, and allow your eyes to come to an open now. You might notice that after that centering that we did, that the room is brighter, that your mind feels quieter and calmer. And so this is one of the major benefits of a yoga practice, is feeling that state of being centered and calm, even when the world can seem chaotic. All right, so let's start with our first yoga postures. So we'll begin with the cat pose, and in the cat pose, you're going to round your spine, rounding your back, and I'm going to scoot forward just a little bit so I have space to really round my back without the back running into the chair back. Sliding the hands towards the knees and bringing the chin in towards the chest. And just breathing here with awareness, noticing each in-breath, noticing each out-breath. And if you feel any tension around the shoulders and the neck, see if you can recognize where the tension is and invite awareness to relax those places that feel tense, that feel tight. Now on your next inhale, as it moves in, lift your chin away from your chest. Bring your shoulders back. Lift the chest, lift the heart. Squeeze your shoulder blades on your back towards each other. And just feel how when you sit up tall, then lift the chest, even if it's over exaggerated a little bit, how that just helps to give you more of a sense of opening and broadening in these muscles across the chest that sometimes get really tight from sitting with the shoulders and the back rounded forward. And now we're going to put those two shapes together with the breath. So on your inhale today, round your back into that cat pose. Let the inhale finish. And as the exhale moves in, start to bring your shoulder blades back. Lift and broaden your chest. You might even lift your chin a little bit out of the chest. That's it. And so now doing that with each breath, inhale, rounding the back in cat. Exhale, bring the shoulders back, lift the chest and chin, cow pose. 3 more times. Inhale, round your back, cat. Exhale, arch your back, cow. Inhale, cat. Exhale, cow. Notice how good it feels to move your body. Inhale, cat. Exhale, cow pose. And then see if you can find where you're feeling a little more upright and vertical through your torso. So it's not quite cow pose, it's definitely not cat pose, somewhere in between those two positions. Good. So now we're going to warm up the shoulders. So you can bring your fingertips to the tops of your shoulders, your heads of your arm bones. If you can't quite reach there, you might take your fingertips to your collarbones. And then from here, lift the elbows just about shoulder height. And then start to make little circles in the air with your elbows. And that helps to rotate the arms where they meet the collarbones and the shoulder blades. So this doesn't have to be a huge movement. Keep it small. And then go in the other direction. So circling the other direction. And again, we're not trying to make these big, large, gross movements. Rather, they're slow, they're methodical, they're controlled. And one of the things you might notice is that you stop noticing that you're breathing. Sometimes we might even be holding the breath. Go ahead and lower the hands down. And if that happens to you, just bring your awareness back to your breath. So one of the key components of a yoga practice is mindfulness, or paying attention to the breath. Okay, so let's add in a little bit more of a shoulder warm up here. Turn your palms to face the sky, and as you inhale, reach the arms out and up. And then as you exhale, take your arms back out and down, and bring your hands together at your heart. Good. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up. Exhale, take the hands to the heart. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Twice more. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands to heart. Last time. Inhale, arms up. And exhale, hands to heart. Let's add in some rotations of the spine next, so also called spinal twisting. So trying as best you can to stay upright and vertical through your torso. Take a breath in here with the hands at the heart space, the thumbs to the sternum. And then as you exhale, twisting to the right, very gently. Try not to let your knees and your hips move. And then as you inhale, come back to center. As you exhale, twisting to your left. So it's a very gentle twist. Inhale to center. And exhale to the right. Inhale to center. Exhale to the left. And we'll do that 3 more times, inhaling to center. Exhaling to the right. This time you can turn your head a little more to the right. Inhale, head and heart to center. Exhale, twist to the left. Let your head follow to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, right. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. And let's finish one more time in each direction. Inhale to center. Exhaling to the right. Inhale, center. And exhale, left. Good. Coming back to center as you inhale, and then releasing your hands down. Okay. So next up, let's grab our strap. And place the strap around the ball mound of your right foot. And you can lean back in the chair. That probably feels good for now. We've been sitting up straight and tall, which makes you work your back muscles, so they might fatigue. And holding the tails of the strap, one in each hand, so that your arms are straight and your right leg straightens. So this strengthens the quad on the right leg, those upper muscles above your knee that go all the way up to the pelvis. And you might also feel that it stretches, lengthens the muscles at the back of the leg, the foot, the calf, the hamstrings. Good. And then go ahead and lower your foot down. And we'll just take the left foot into the strap next to the right foot. And then release that right foot back down to the floor. Lean back into your chair so you have some support. And then straighten that leg. Make sure your arms are straight and strong. Your shoulders are back. And remember to breathe with mindfulness, with awareness. So one of the things to keep in mind when you're breathing in a yoga class is that you want the breath to be nice and long on the inhale, nice and long on the exhale. So we are trying to fill up the lungs, but very slowly, much like if you were to slowly fill up a balloon. You know how long that takes to blow a balloon up? You think about that in a slow, methodical way of filling up the two balloons of your lungs. Go ahead and bend your knee and take your foot down to the floor. Release the strap here. And also when you're exhaling, when you let the air slowly out of the balloon, you're not trying to force the air out quickly of the balloon. It just automatically and slowly leaves that exit of the hole in the balloon, right? Same with your nostrils, slowly leaving the nostrils. And a lot of the times when I first start teaching new students, or when I start teaching new students, when I say take a deep breath in, it's almost like they're at the doctor's office with a stethoscope and they take this short, deep breath in, like that, with like a 1 second inhale, and then they exhale just like they're in the doctor's office with that stethoscope with a 1 second exhale. And so if you can slow your breath down and try to avoid that quick pump or that quick filling and that quick exiting of the lungs, to start to get to where you can inhale to a count of 5 or 6 seconds and exhale to a count of 5 or 6 seconds, you'll be well on your way to strengthening the muscles that help you to breathe, your respiratory muscles. Okay. So let's do some sun salutations seated in the chair. So as you inhale, you'll sweep your arms out and up towards the sky. Really try to get long and tall through your torso. And then as you exhale, hinge from your hips. Take your hands down to wherever they reach on your legs towards the floor, rounding your back, relaxing your head. As the inhale moves in, slide your hands up towards the tops of the shins. Bring your shoulders back and lift your chest. And then as the exhale moves out, slide your hands down towards your ankles. Round your back, relax your head. Inhale, come all the way back up. Reach the arms out and up. Grow a little longer and taller. Exhale, take your hands back behind you on the chair legs, wherever you can reach, and lift and broaden your chest here. As you exhale, take your hands to the tops of your knees and round your back, bringing the chin in towards the chest. Inhale, slowly rise back up to a tall spine, shoulders back and down. Exhaling out your air here. And then inhale, grab the back of your right thigh. Lift your right foot. You might just stay here, bringing the knee in towards the chest, or if you'd like, you can straighten that right knee and then lower the right foot down. Good, other side, you'll inhale as you grab the back of the thigh, bringing the knee in towards the chest, or you can straighten the leg, and as you exhale, lower the foot down, back into that chair mountain pose. Inhale, reach the arms out and up, and exhale, bring your hands to your heart. That completes one sun salutation. Inhale, reach the arms out and up. You can imagine that you're reaching and stretching towards the sky, towards the sun. Exhale, folding forward. So when we bow, when we forward fold, we are recognizing all that is sacred, all that we're grateful for. Inhale, come to your halfway lift, sliding hands up to the tops of the shins, heart open, chest open. Exhale, slide the hands down towards the ankles, relax the head, the neck. Inhale, rise up to a vertical torso, reach your arms out and up towards the sky. You might even look up. Exhale, take your hands back behind you onto the chair, back maybe down towards the legs. Lift the chest here. Exhale, take your hands onto your knees, round your back. Inhale, slowly rise up. Take as much time as you need to find that chair Tadasana with the shoulders down the back. Exhaling here. Inhale, grab the back of your left leg, draw the leg in. Option of straightening the knee. And exhale, set the foot down. Other leg, grab the back of the right leg, inhale, lift the knee, maybe straighten the knee. And exhale, set the foot down. Inhale, reach the arms out and up, looking up if that feels okay for you. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart center. Good. Now interlace your fingers together and turn your palms to face away from your heart space. Bring your shoulders back a little bit so that the chest is lifted and broad, and then reach the arms forward and maybe up. So just finding the gentleness here as you lift your arms up, not trying to force the arms back in any way. You're just really kind of playing with your range of motion without scrunching your neck. So you can see this is what a scrunched neck looks like. This is what a free neck looks like. You can move your head a little bit. Good, now take your hands back together at the heart center. And you might notice when you interlace your fingers the natural way, which pointer finger is on top, which thumb is on top. And so now you're going to switch so that all the other fingers switch their lace, including the thumbs. It probably feels a little strange, like you're holding someone else's hand. Turn the palms to face away from you, your arms about chest height. Good. Lift and broaden your chest, bringing the shoulders back a little bit. Good. You're still breathing. And then you have the option to stay here as you press the palms away from you, keeping a little bend to the elbows, and then maybe reaching the arms and the hands up. So just finding that position to where you still have some freedom and movement around the neck as you lift the hands up towards the sky. Taking a deep breath in, and as you exhale, release the hands back down. Bring your thumbs to your heart in Anjali Mudra. So important to stay moving. One of my favorite sayings is a body in motion stays in motion. So if you keep moving, guess what? You'll keep moving. If you stop moving, well, it's going to be harder to move. You'll feel stiff, you'll feel weak. So welcome yourself wherever you are, and we can continue to build on your foundation, your baseline of where you are with your flexibility and your strength. Okay, let's take the feet out wider than what they have been. Move anything out of the way so that your feet can be on the floor and they're not obstructed. So if you can see here, my knees are out at an angle from the hips rather than being straight forward. And just as much as the knees point out, that's as far as the toes will point out. And if you want to get really finite here, the center of the kneecap should align with the middle toe on both sides. So you can just kind of peer over and look to see that. Okay, now from here, we're going to take a deep breath in and really focus on reaching the chest forward so that the spine is nice and long and extended. And then on the exhale, I'd like for you to come forward a little bit more and bring your elbows down to your thighs, just right above your knees. And turn the palms up, and you can stack one hand on top of the other. So now let's bring some strength into this by pressing the feet down into the floor as you exhale. Really feel an engagement of your legs. As you inhale, you can let go of that engagement. Let your legs relax a little bit. As you exhale, press your feet into the floor, almost like you're gonna get up from the floor, that amount of pressure, but you're not going to stand just yet. Inhale as you relax that effort. Exhale as you press your feet into the floor. You might even feel your butt want to lift a little bit. Good, let's do that a few more times. Each time you exhale, you'll press your feet into the floor. And each time you inhale, you'll relax that effort. 2 more times. Exhale, press. Inhale, relax. Exhale, press. Inhale, relax. Let's add in a twist from here. So you'll just have a little bit of pressure through the feet. You don't have to push quite as hard as you were, but just feel that you're making a footprint into the floor. Take your right hand onto your right thigh and keep your left elbow heavy onto the left thigh. So right hand into the right thigh, and you're leveraging a twist, looking over the right shoulder. Bring your right shoulder blade onto the back and turn your head to look over your right shoulder. So you can kind of see what's going on behind you. And inhale to lengthen your spine. Think of lengthening from your tailbone to the top of your head. And exhale, focus on the twist in your rib cage spine. Let's do that for one more breath. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale to focus on twisting to the left. Good, now inhale, come back to center. Both elbows rest down. Let's do a little bit of a stretch here, taking the fingers maybe towards the floor and around your back. If they don't touch the floor, just grab onto your ankles, round your back, let your head hang. Good, press through your feet to rise back up, come all the way up. Take your time here. Anytime your head is below your heart, when you come up, you might feel a little bit of dizziness or feel a little like there's stars in your vision. Now let's do that on the other side. So as a reminder, you're going to place your elbows onto the corresponding thigh. Turn the palms to face up. Lengthen through your spine. Good. Now this time, you'll take your left hand to your left thigh. Press down into the right elbow in the left hand to leverage a twist to your left. Looking over the left shoulder, so you turn the head to a comfortable degree. And each time you inhale, focus on lengthening the spine from your tailbone through the crown of your head. And each time you exhale, you can focus on that twist in the rib cage and the spine to your left. 2 more breaths like that. Once you've finished your exhale, you can come back to center. Inhale, lengthen your spine once again. Exhale, rise all the way up to seated. Let's take the feet into about a little bit wider than your hips. So wider than chair, but narrower than the squat stance we were here earlier. Now we're just going to come in a little bit more narrow. Okay. And again, I've got my knees and my toes kind of pointed out. So we're going to do 5 sit to stands. So in a sit to stand, this is a great way to practice getting up and out of your chair without using your hands to help push you up. So this strengthens your backs of your legs, your gluteal muscles, your butt muscles, and your quadriceps. Okay, so I'm sitting fully in the chair. I've got my heels a little bit behind the knees. And for a counterbalance, you can bring your arms forward, like so. Okay, keep your chest lifted and your tummy engaged, your core engaged. Take a breath in here. You're gonna lean forward just a little bit to come up to standing. You'll exhale as you stand. You'll inhale. You gotta bend your knees and get your butt back. Butt back to the chair, sitting down. So each time you exhale, lean forward to come up to standing. And each time you inhale, take your butt back onto the chair. Good, let's do that 3 more times at your own pace. 2. And 1. And let's stay standing. Okay. So we're going to move the chair now so that the chair is at the top of your yoga mat. And so today we're going to do a standing forward bend, and after we do the standing forward bend, we're going to do a downward facing dog. Both of them will be using the chair for our props. Okay, so as you can see, I'm facing the chair bottom where one would normally sit. So if you have the chair turned the other way, like this, then you might want to turn it. Okay. So you'll want to have your feet positioned so that your toes are set back from the chair about 6 or 8 inches, somewhere in between those 2 numbers. The feet are going to be about hip distance apart, the arms alongside the body to start, and the head above the heart. This is mountain pose. And with the head above the heart, lift your chin just so that your eyes are parallel to the earth. Your eyes are horizon level. And just really feel that you can press equal weight into both of your feet. Sometimes when we stand, we might shift one hip over to the side. So see if you can bring your weight equally through both hips and both legs and both feet. Now once you've established that, We'll reach the arms forward and up on an in breath. And on an out breath, you can fold from your hips. So you kind of feel like you're sticking your bottom out as you fold. And take your hands and grab the outer edges of the chair with the thumbs on top and the fingers wrapped around the bottom of the chair. Now, if your backs of your legs feel tight, if your hamstrings feel tight here, bend your knees a little bit, about 10 or 15 degrees. And once you've established that, I want you to try to stick your bottom back and up, so you tilt your pelvis into an anterior. So rather than tucking the pelvis under like this, think of bringing your sit bones back in space. And it'll almost feel like you're kind of lifting your tailbone or your lower part of your sacrum towards the sky. And then as you do that, reach through the heart space, reach through the crown of the head, looking straight down at the chair. Also, try not to let the head hang down. So reaching the crown of the head forward towards the wall in front of you. Now this might be where you stay. This is a really great way to strengthen your back muscles while you're also stretching your hamstrings, the backs of your legs. Or if you want this to be a little bit more, you can bring your forearms, your elbows down to the chair. And you see how I did that? Now if you can't quite reach the chair, that just means that you're tight through here, or it could also mean that you're tall and the chair is too low for you. So you could use your block or your folded blanket and prop it up underneath the elbows, so you're lifting the chair up to you a little bit. And again, I'm unlocking the knees, sticking the sit bones back and up, lengthening the spine. From the tailbone through the crown of the head, I'm lengthening. And just taking some long, deep breaths here. Now, if you start to get tired through the legs, if you feel fatigued at any time, you can come up whenever you would like. This is your practice, so it's best to listen to your body. You know what's best for you. Okay, now to come out, you can plant your hands back down to the chair. Take your hands onto your hips and stand up. Go slow to stand up. You don't want to get dizzy at all as you come up. Remember what I said about when your head is below your heart, it's called an inversion. That can make you feel dizzy when the blood rushes back. Tadasana pose, mountain pose, standing. So equal weight through both feet. Shoulders back. Crown of head reaches towards the sky. And your eyes are looking out at the horizon as if you could gaze at the sun setting on the horizon. Okay, so downward facing dog pose is the next pose. But before we do that, I want to make sure that your shoulders are a little bit more open or lengthened. So we're going to use the strap next. So you can grab your strap. And my strap is really long, it's 10 feet long, so I'm folding my strap in half, so it's only about 5 feet. So 5 feet is plenty of length. Now once you've found your strap, place it in between your hands with your thumbs and fingers wrapped around the strap. Find that your hands are wider than your outer shoulders, and your feet are hip distance apart. Okay, so give a little bit of a tug on the strap, just a little bit, so that there's tension You don't want to be pulling so hard that you feel like you're creating tension around the neck, but just enough to keep the strap straight. Okay. So here, as you inhale, I'd like for you to reach your arms and the strap forward and up shoulder height. And then as you exhale, you can take the strap back down. Okay, inhale to shoulder height. Exhale back down. So see if you can keep your hands about the same height on both sides there. Keep going with the breath, inhaling up and exhaling down. One more time. Good. Okay. Back to mountain pose. All right, so you can keep your hands the same distance, or you can slide them a little further away from each other, so maybe an inch or two further apart from where they were. And this time the starting position is shoulder height. And so as you inhale, you're going to give that nice little tug on the strap and reach the strap up. The elbows straight. And each time you exhale, you're going to bring the strap, the hands, shoulder height. Okay, inhale, reach the arms up. And exhale, back to shoulder height. Now, as you continue to do this, I'll just point out something that people will tend to do. If their shoulders are really tight, then they'll compensate by pushing the rib cage forward and back bending to get the strap back. So as you continue to do this, can you keep a sense of your abdominals engaged? Kind of like when you were in cat pose earlier, you know how your stomach was engaged there? You want to keep that engagement, but keep the spine long as you take the straps overhead. Okay, try that a couple more times. So I'm not moving my spinal column. I'm just moving the arms and the shoulders. And they get pretty warm and they get pretty tired after that. So that's normal. You just don't want to experience any pain. Now, if you've had shoulder replacements, you definitely want to be mindful of that movement, and your body will definitely let you know if you can lift any higher. And for some of you, it might look more like this is as high as you go, and that's okay. Please never force your limbs, your joints to go past a safe range, and you know what's best. So if there's pain, avoid it. Okay, you can always sit this one out if it hurts. Okay, so now that we've done that, we're going to move into a chair downward facing dog pose. And so on this one, you can have the chair turned either way. I'll show you the easier way first, and then you can decide which one you want to do. So the easier way, I think, is to turn the chair around. So now the chair back is facing you. You're going to walk back so that your toes are about a foot back from the chair feet. Okay? And then you're going to fold forward from your hips and take your hands to grab the outer part of the chair back. And I like to have my fingers pointing and wrapping slightly around the chair back. And some people will wrap their thumbs around here, but see if you can keep your thumbs on top. That way you maintain an external rotation in the shoulders. If you wrap the thumbs underneath, it'll internally rotate your arms, which is uncomfortable. Okay, then once you've done that, you're just going to walk your feet back about another foot or so from where they were, and straighten your arms and reach your sit bones back. Okay, and your knees will be bent and your crown of your head reaching forward. Now that might be where you stay, and if you're happy there and everything feels okay, you can stay where you are. The other variation would be to turn the chair around. So the chair bottom is facing you. You forward fold. The thumbs are going to be on top. The fingers are going to wrap underneath the chair bottom. Step the feet back about 2 to 3 feet. The arms straight and strong. And just find a distance where your feet can be back so that your arms are straight, your sit bones are reaching back, and your heels are on the floor. And once you've found that, try to lengthen all sides of the neck out of the shoulder girdle. Breathe. So if you were in that first variation, you're likely going to come out by now if you haven't already. So you would just walk your feet forward and come up into standing mountain pose. For those of you that did the second variation, we'll just take one more breath here and then walk the feet forward. And once your feet are forward, come up to standing mountain pose. Excellent. Okay. So our next posture that we're going to do is a standing locust pose. So it's a balancing pose. And so what you're going to do is turn the chair around one more time. I can't promise it's the last time. All right. And so we're using the chair to help us to maintain balance here. So depending upon how tall you are, for me, I have a longer torso, so it's just my fingertips that are holding on to the chair here. If you're a little shorter, I'm about 5'9". If you're a little bit shorter, you might find that you can get your hands on the chair to kind of wrap around for balance. Now, with the feet about hip distance apart, bring your gaze so that your eyes are once again at horizon level. Bring your shoulders back. Now shift your weight into your left foot. Try not to shift your weight over into your left hip. It's just that you want to have more weight into the left foot so you can balance on it. And then once you've done that, I'd like for you to slide your right toes back a little bit and lift the right heel. I'm going to lift my pants leg so you can see. Lift the right heel up like you have a high heel shoe on. Squeeze the right side of your butt muscles, your glute muscles, and lift up nice and tall. Bring your shoulders back. Now those of you that would like to add a little more here, you can lift your right foot completely off of the floor and using your hands on the chair to maintain balance. Good, now set the right foot back down, back to mountain pose. And then shift your weight over into your right foot. Slide the left toes back, lift the left heel, like you have a high heel shoe on. Squeeze the left glutes, lift up tall through the chest, the shoulders back. And then you might lift the left foot. So you're balancing on the right, using the chair to help. If you get really good at this, you can take one hand or both hands away from the chair, or maybe just rest your pointer fingers on the chair for balance. Good, and then go ahead and set your left foot back down. Okay, how'd you do? Just remember, the more you practice, the easier it gets. You get stronger, you get more limber, you get your balance back, and your focus and your concentration will improve. And that will help you in a lot of the things that you do throughout the day. So, it improves your memory, makes you sharp as a tack, all those great things. Okay, so let's do one more standing posture. So, I'm going to take the chair. Here, let me think about which way it needs to be. Take the chair so that the chair, feet, legs are on the mat and the back of the chair is facing you. This is important because we don't want the chair to slide. Okay, we want it to be on a grippy surface. Okay, now once you've done that, take your feet out wide so that your toes are pointing forward. So this is called Warrior Two pose. Now once you have widened the feet out, you'll take your right heel and lift it up a little bit. You might push into the chair to help you to be able to do that. Turn the right heel out at a slight angle and then set the right heel back down. Now see if you can put your weight into your feet, not into your hands for a moment, so you start to get a sense of balancing. And now from there, you're going to pivot onto that left heel. You can push into the chair to do that. Turn the left toes out 90 degrees. So in this case, my left toes are pointed out towards the short side of the yoga mat. Okay. Now from here, I'd like for you to bend your left knee. And just make sure that the knee doesn't go past the front of the ankle. And if you notice that you put most of your weight into that left foot, see if you can also put equal weight into the right foot. Good. Now lift and broaden through your torso and your chest. Bring your shoulders back. Now you might stay here with your hands on the chair, or you can straighten your left arm. Bring the left arm out, so to the side, so that your left fingertips are pointing in the same direction of your left toes. The palm is facing the floor. And you might turn your head now to look past the horizon of your left fingertips. If you want a little bit more challenge, you can take the right arm back so that you're making like a T shape with your torso and your arms. If you need the balance, take the right hand back to the chair. Okay, good. Both hands come back down to the chair. Press into the chair to pivot the feet and set the feet into about hip distance apart, coming back into a mountain pose. And you might just notice here as you're standing, how does it feel? What feels the same? What feels different on the right side and the left side? Do that on the other side. Place your hands onto the chair back. Widen your feet out about 3 feet or more. Lift up that left heel. Pivot the left heel out at a slight angle. Set the heel down. And then from there, you can turn the right toes out 90 degrees and bend the right knee. Equal weight through both of the feet. That's it. Equal weight through both feet. And then lift up long and tall through your torso. Broaden the chest. Bring your shoulders back a little bit. Now you might take your right arm forward. The right fingertips pointing the same direction of the right toes. Looking past the horizon of your right fingertips. Or you might also take that left arm back. Requires a bit more balance and stability on your part through the legs. Remember to breathe. Conscious breathing. Good, and then take your hands back down to the chair for support. Parallel your feet. Step the feet back in to about hip distance apart. Come back to mountain pose. Very good. Okay. So let's finish with a chair pose, seated chair pose, a twist, And then from there, we'll do one more relaxing pose, and then we'll finish with a seated breathing exercise. So you're going to need your block here, and what I'd like for you to do is to sit side saddle on your chair, okay? So not the traditional way, but we'll sit to the side. And so my right hip and my right leg is in line with the back of the chair right now. For instructional purposes, see if you can get your right hip in line with the back of the chair. Your knees are right over the heels, and you're going to use a block or a folded towel in between your inner thighs. And so once you place the folded towel or the block in between the inner thighs, I want you to squeeze the block with the strength of your inner thigh muscles. So the muscles on the insides of the thighs. Can you feel that they're engaging to squeeze the block or the towel so it doesn't fall through? Okay, that's going to keep your knees neutral and pointing forward and your hips and pelvis from rotating in the twist. So we just want to twist through the upper spine, from the rib cage up to the head. Okay? So let's sweep the arms forward and up to the height that works for you. And take a breath in here as you do so. And on your exhale, twisting to your right. And take your hands down so that you're holding the back of the chair. Kind of like you're holding a big steering wheel there with your hands. And you're going to pull with your left hand and push with your right hand gently. Be gentle, don't be aggressive. And look over the right shoulder by turning your head. Inhale to lift and lengthen. Nice, long, slow in-breath. Exhale to focus on your gentle twist. And then come back to center so that your hands are resting onto your thighs. So what you're going to do to switch to the other side, you're just going to walk your feet over and kind of spin around to the other side. I'm going to turn the chair though, so that you can see where I'm grabbing the chair when I do this twist. So my left side of my hip is going to be facing the chair back, and we've got our blanket or towel or block in between the inner thighs. I'm going to give a little squeeze like you would give someone a hug, so it's not super aggressive there, just gentle and loving. Sit up nice and tall. And you might reach your arms forward and up just to get a little bit more length through your sides. Inhale here. Now as you exhale, you'll take your twist to the left. Bring your hands down to grab the chair back on either side. Good. Inhale to lengthen through the crown of the head. Exhale to twist, turning the head to look over the left shoulder. And you can pull with the right hand, push with the left hand. Gentle. Center. Good, so you can remove the block, and I'm going to turn the chair so that it's facing forward. So you can see me here. Now you can use your block on the floor just to lift the floor up towards you. Set your feet onto the block or your blanket if you're using that. And you might scoot your feet and the blanket forward a little bit more so that you can lean back into your chair so that the lower portion of your shoulder blades is being supported by the chair. Once you've found that, bring the soles of your feet together now as best as you can, and you'll notice the knees are bent and the thighs are opening out here. So this is a nice way to stretch the inner thighs very gently to open and broaden the chest. And then if you're feeling any tension at all through the head or the neck, you can bring one or both of your hands behind the back of your head and interlace the fingers if you're bringing both of them together, and just create a pillow, a support. And breathe here. This is a variation of reclined bound angle pose or Supta Baddha Konasana. This works if you cannot get up and down off of the floor to do the pose. Okay, let's take another full conscious breath in here. Nice long exhale out. You can assist your body forward a little bit with the hands. Bring the soles of the feet back down to the floor. And we'll finish in our chair mountain pose. Restacking the heels underneath the knees. Find that your ears are above your shoulders. Your shoulders are above your hips. And you can either rest your hands on your lap or bring your hands together at heart center. And we'll finish with measured breathing today. We'll do 5 rounds, breathing in to a count of 5 and breathing out to a count of 5. And I'll lead you through this. If you feel like you're having a hard time here, or you feel like you can't catch your breath, or there's a little panic, then maybe reduce the count to 4 seconds on the inhale, 4 seconds on the exhale, until your lungs get stronger. Okay, let's close the eyes. And let all of your air empty out before you begin. And inhaling, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhaling, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhaling, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhaling, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhaling, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhaling, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhaling, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhaling, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhaling, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhaling, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Returning your awareness to your center, to your home base of your heart. And as we close today, we'll send well wishes of metta, loving kindness, to those that need it. And so you might have someone in mind, someone that you know needs love, that needs some well wishes. And you can picture them in your mind's eye. And as you picture them in your mind's eye, you can send these well wishes out to that person, filling in the blank. May this person be well. May this person be happy. May this person be at peace. May all beings be well. May all beings be happy. And may all beings be at peace. I want to thank you for joining me today. I hope you'll join me again for another chair yoga practice. This is the second one that I've recorded. There's also some restorative yoga classes and gentle yoga classes on my YouTube channel. And those of you that can't get up and down off of the floor, you can do some of the lying down poses on your bed. So keep that in mind. And then you can always ad-lib with the standing poses by using a chair. Be well. Namaste.